empowering you to build better lives. That's what we do. Okay, well, welcome to this edition of Empower, the podcast dedicated to exploring the science behind becoming a more empowered individual. In other words, becoming stronger and more self-confident in your own life pursuits. I'm so excited today to host this podcast. I'm Ryan Napierski, President and CEO of New Skin Enterprises, a business that has been about empowerment for 40 years now, started in 1984. And today I'm so excited to be here with my good friend and business partner, Rayne Ho. Rayne joined the business back in 2000.
Yep.
Rayne has been 23-year team elite. Yep. He's achieved just about every accomplishment that we offer and beyond that. Rayne, the first time I remember seeing you, this is before I knew you, I was just getting going in the business, and we had this amazing leader, and everyone talked about Rayne Ho and Angela and this power duo in our business. And I remembered meeting you, and my first impression of you was humility, very humble. But the more that we've gotten to know each other over the years, and we're close in age, we've talked about that. The more I've realized that this business that we're in is your life's work. You've put all of your heart and your soul into this. You've impacted people all around the world. And so we're going to jump right in and explore this. So my first question for you, Rayne, and we want to get to know you, Rayne Ho. Where are you from, where you came from, and then we'll get into what you're passionate about today. But tell us a little bit about your family, your upbringing. Where were you born, your parents? What was important to them that they wanted to teach you as a child, and then how does that take you into the future? So let's start there.
Yeah, great. I'm glad I'm here in Provo, Utah. I think basically I've been building the business for 23 years. I was born in Malaysia, but I'm based in Singapore right now.
Yep.
Yeah, so way back, I think when I was 13 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went to Singapore. I furthered my study there.
Okay.
So I graduated in Singapore with major in economics. Economics, yeah.
Okay.
So
that explains more about you now that I know.
So I was supposed to be in the financial industry.
Yeah. I knew that. But
Yeah. So basically, I only spent like 13 years in Malaysia, so from my hometown, a fishing village. Well, but I think that a lot of things have shaped me, influenced me in terms of a lot of values. I think especially from my dad. Yeah. That,
what brought you to Singapore? When you said at 13 years old you came from a fishing village.
Yeah.
What?
Because I want to further my study.
Okay. Yeah. So for school. Did your parents stay in Malaysia?
Yeah. So
interesting.
I'm all alone, making decision.
Wow.
For everything.
What did your father and mother do professionally?
Yeah, my dad was actually he owned a shop.
Okay.
Yeah, so he ran a shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
An entrepreneur.
Yeah, business owner.
Okay.
A business owner.
Business owner, and he felt like you would have a better life if you went to Singapore.
Yeah, because I just completed my primary school.
Okay.
Yeah, so just deciding where to further my studies. So then we think that a better prospect in Singapore for education.
Okay.
So that's where.
So they shipped you over to Singapore. They put you on a boat, an airplane. They send you over. They drive you or whatever.
Yeah, they sent me over.
And what did you do? You just
I was just staying in the hostel.
Okay, they
the
sent you to a hostel.
Yeah, so from secondary school to high school to university.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So how did that make you feel when you first, at 13 years old, shipped out on your own? I didn't leave home until I was almost 19 years old. So at 13, what was the state of Rayne Ho?
At a point of time, right, when I first moved there, I was very excited for the first 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, after that, homesick.
Yeah.
Lonely, right? Not many friends.
Yeah.
So I was always looking forward to go back to my hometown, especially during the festive season, the Chinese New Year and all this stuff. Yeah. And after a few years, I began to learn to be very independent because my dad was not that educated in a certain sense. Yeah. So I cannot depend on him to make certain decisions. Yeah. So I chose my course, what to study.
Interesting.
Yeah, which school I go.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it molded me to be very independent since very young. making decision at a very early age.
Yeah.
So
All by yourself.
all by myself.
Did you have a mentor when you came to Singapore? Was there a professor? How did you make those? I can't imagine. I mean, I have a 17-year-old and she's just starting to make those decisions.
Yeah.
But those decisions aren't necessarily the decisions you were making all by yourself in a new country. So who did you lean on for?
So basically, it was introduced by my auntie, right? Because I got a cousin brother that actually studied in Singapore.
Okay.
So we were looking, my parents were looking, where to send me.
Okay.
So through my auntie, right, she told my mom,
Mm-hmm.
right, the Singapore education system is good.
Okay.
So that's how I ended there. But when I was there, basically, we don't have any close relative or friends over there. Yeah.
So were you a fairly, how would you describe yourself? As an outgoing child, a reserved child?
Well, I got two sides of personality.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So like my interests during my school days. So it's too extreme.
Okay.
Okay. So I play Chinese chess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that Go?
No,
The black and white box?
no.
Oh,
the
no.
Chinese chess.
Chinese.
Where you have the
actual chess.
it's similar to the international chess.
Okay.
Yeah. You have horse and the kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, the knights. Yeah, and on the other extreme, I play rugby.
Oh, interesting. So smart,
So
but
it's-
also athletic.
So it's very too extreme.
Okay.
So I have two different group of friends,
Okay.
and it's like two communities.
Yeah.
It's different kind of people.
Yes, absolutely.
So sometimes, when I saw them, when I was hanging out with the,
The
rugby guys,
Yeah, the
right?
rugby guys.
They're always rugged,
Yeah.
rough,
Yeah.
talk loud,
Yeah.
we drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I saw, when actually I saw my these teammates,
Yeah.
the Chinese chess teammates, they were all looking at me. Because all these people are basically, they're in the category of like, they're more nerdy,
Yeah.
right? Wear specs,
Smart.
a little bit square,
Intellectual.
very intellectual.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they were just looking at me,
No quieter.
judging me that why are you hanging with this group of people, so called like more naughty.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
On the other hand, when I was hanging out with this group of people, right?
That's- yeah.
My rugby friends,
That's
all these
bigger.
outgoing sports people, right?
Yeah.
You just look at what are you doing?
Yeah.
It makes you with this group of people.
Yeah. How did that shape you?
I think
To be that diverse in relatability to
it grew me to be more adaptable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm able to look into different sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is something that I feel it helps me to shape me who I am today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at a very young age, you were making pretty big life choices.
Yeah.
One of the questions I like to ask is would you consider yourself as a child, I mean in your teen years, a self-confident person or a self-conscious person? Or both?
Both.
You had both sides.
Yeah, both.
Tell me about that.
Because my result was academic result was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah,
smart.
Yeah.
Good grade.
And I'm very outgoing for sports.
Okay.
I play a lot of sports.
Yeah.
And so basically, I mean, the confidence derived from the results, right?
Yeah, that's right.
In early age. So
you were fairly successful on the chess side and also on the rugby side.
yeah, play for school teams.
Interesting. So maybe we fast forward a little bit. So you graduate from university in economics.
Yeah.
So you're clearly financially minded. You're in Singapore, which is one of the financial capitals of the world.
Yeah.
Where did you go from there?
So I was actually looking out for most of the people, most of my friends actually they go to banking.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I was asking myself, right, should I go there? Right?
Yeah.
But going to banking meaning that I'll be a employee.
Yeah. Yeah.
So probably because my background, my dad was a business owner.
Yeah.
So I never thought of working for people.
Mm.
So even though during my uni days,
Mm-hmm.
right, in fact, I have never sent any resume in my life.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, still. I
Okay.
have not, I don't have any job. I never worked for anyone
Never.
before.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, my thought was that the degree was just something that I just want to, it's like a trophy,
Yeah.
right, to show
Needed to get.
to my family members.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah. So to me that it's not something that I will fall back on,
Okay.
but rather that I want to look for something that have more freedom.
Okay.
So I chose financial planning.
Okay.
So I started off with financial planning career
This is wealth management, financial
Yeah.
for individuals.
for individuals.
Okay. Yeah.
So mainly on the insurance,
Okay.
unit trust.
Yep.
Yeah. So I started there. I was most like 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 years there. The reason why I actually chose that platform is because that I want a lot of more flexibility,
Yeah.
a lot of freedom, and it's kind of like building your own business.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have own time, and in fact, we can even build team.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can build our own agency.
Okay.
We can recruit agents.
Yeah.
Yeah, and financial planners. So I was so on the vision then that I want to build a team.
Yeah.
Right. I was not so much interested on the selling part.
Okay.
Right. But it was somehow financial planning is financial related. So the financial products I was quite familiar.
Yeah.
So I chose that. But the real reason why I go into it is because I want to build a team.
Okay. So if you go back though, so I'm trying to think, this is Rayne Ho, 13-year-old from a fishing village in Malaysia, gets shipped off to Singapore on his own, stays at a hostel, starts to play chess, starts to do rugby, eventually gets his economics degree, decides to go into business for himself, and then 5 years you're doing this. Clearly you didn't come from wealth, but maybe in financial planning you were exposed to wealth. But you said that the more interesting part was building the team.
Yeah.
So maybe talk with us a little bit about your philosophy around building a team. And when you started to do that, from going from managing yourself to now motivating, engaging, managing others, what was that? When did you hire your first person or bring your first teammate on? What did you learn from that? And then obviously we're going to go into how does that apply today. But
yeah, I think the choices made was basically not so much about a career. It was somehow, I did think about this thing, right? That how come I made the kind of decision. So I tried to recall back, my early days. I think my dad has a lot of influence over me, right? Because when he started the business, he owned a shop.
Okay.
And we have, he has got 2 brothers.
Okay.
We have two uncles, right? So he has the kind of, he's the one who started the business.
Yeah.
But he bring in the brothers.
Okay.
He take care of the brothers, right? And the brothers are, they are helping him. I still can remember that I was very young. Until today, I can remember. He told me about his vision of the business.
Okay.
Actually, he only got 1 shop.
Okay.
So he ended up, when he retired, also only 1 shop.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can
big vision.
Yeah, big vision. But I can still remember that. Told me that because my uncle, my younger uncle, right? I think he learned about he was a trained electrician.
Okay.
So he thought that he said that he want to inspire the brother to open another outlet, right? To sell probably electric appliances. So he want to build like a business empire.
Okay.
But it never happened.
Okay.
It never happened. Okay. So they kind of vision. That,
why do you think so? Yeah, I mean that's where I was going to go. So he taught you to vision.
He never taught. I was just very intentional.
Observing.
Yeah, I was just observing.
But he had a vision.
Yeah.
But you said the vision never came to be.
Yeah.
Right? Or at least not yet.
Yeah.
The state of.
Yeah, I inherited.
Yeah. Okay.
Vision,
So
right?
but so you have his vision.
So that on the business part.
Yeah.
But on the family part.
Yeah.
Right, because my dad also helped to take care of his the elder brothers.
Okay.
Which is my uncle.
Your uncles.
Right. He has got 7 children.
Okay.
Yeah. So somehow the family separated. So my dad was my parents were actually the one who taking care of the. So we don't have a big family.
Okay.
But we have I have 2 one elder brother.
Okay.
And 2 elder sister.
Okay.
Right. But I have 7 cousins who stay together with us.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's a big family.
Yeah. There's something that. Yeah. So there's something that I not learned, but I think that it was like it's like taking care of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that because my cousin family was having some challenges.
Yeah.
So and my cousin, many of them were staying in my house for maybe like 10 over years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're pretty close.
So you learned the importance of caring for others.
Yeah.
And that responsibility for caring for others. So is that what fueled you kind of as you went into financial planning, did you feel like that was an avenue that would allow you to financially accomplish that goal, or was it more like why financial planning?
When I go to financial planning, I was not a person that really enjoys selling.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm more a strategic person.
Yeah, you're very
very
strategic.
macro.
Yeah.
Economics are basically very forward-looking.
Trend driven.
Right.
Yeah.
Accountant is very grounded.
Yeah.
Very forward-looking. Very visionary.
Yeah.
So when I chose financial planner then in Singapore, because there's not many options for entrepreneurship. Right. Either I go to employment, which is a lot of options.
Yeah.
But if I choose an entrepreneurship, I have not much money to start with.
Okay.
So either I choose the real estates, but real estates requires quite a little bit of capital that you need a lot of promotion, advertisement, right? For a startup, that point of time, right? The financial planning career seems to be more doable, very low risk, no capital required, right? Just depending on your effort, time and effort. So another thing is about the compensation plan, the rewards program.
Okay.
So not that I'm being rewarded for my personal effort. I can build a team.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So I was so on the whole agency system.
Yeah.
The rewards program whereby I can build team.
Yeah.
So I came into the financial planning career basically that more on the business.
Okay.
Basically more on the leverage.
Okay. Yeah.
No, team is more on the leverage.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
not only your own time, but you could build a team, and you can then build an ability to earn off of together with your team.
So subsequently, what happened is that because I saw the limitation, because my vision is not to do personal sales. My vision was building team, but I was becoming very uncomfortable. With a lot of regulation changes. Because being
in the financial
product, right? So I become thinking very, very insecure. I was 27 years old.
Okay.
So I was just thinking, if I continue to do this for the next 5 and 10 years and 20 years, what will happen? So the best model will be looking at my manager.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Manager,
Yeah.
So when I look at him, right, he's older in the industry, more years. So this is not something that I want. Right? Basically, I find that he cannot really retire. Right? And in building team, after which you realize that the breakaway. Right? And there's no more benefits.
They leave.
Yeah, they leave. No, there's no residual impact. Right?
Yeah.
So in business sense, I realize that I'm just trying to create a lot of talents and assets for the company. I don't get paid.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? And how many years can I do that?
Yeah.
So I probably the time I'm 27. So basically, I'm thinking that the prime age probably will be about 30 to 45.
Okay.
So I'll make good for another 15 or 20 years.
Okay. Yeah.
So my choice is very important.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was a point of time, almost a year.
Yeah.
That I did a lot of personal development. I attended a lot of courses outside. And I become more aware, right, that what's happening. So that is where I get to know about this kid.
Interesting. So you were opening yourself up to what do I need to do differently in that journey, and you consciously were out looking for new opportunities to grow. But the key, from what I understand, principle-wise, was, okay, how do I leverage my time?
Correct.
How do I build through a team? And do it in a way that doesn't have as many limitations on you and your ability to do that. So let's go deeper into team building. So you started out in financial services, you start building a team. You'd never before managed anyone.
No.
And then today, Success Together is probably one of certainly our largest teams, and the name's very descriptive of the outcomes. How tell us about the journey between like that first team building experience of bringing in your first financial planner and what your philosophy was back then versus what it is today.
No, you're talking about my financial planning days?
Financial planning.
Okay, what happened was that I was so on the vision of building team.
Okay.
Right? But when I'm going to start building team, I saw the challenges. So I did not build team in the
It'd be a problem.
Because I know that if I started doing, usually I'm the kind of person that I will weigh the pros and cons, right? And if I make this decision, I'm going to commit myself.
Okay.
So if I commit myself, at the end of the day, what's the end outcome?
Yeah.
So I do not really see the vision, the beautiful end outcome that I can get from that industry.
I see.
So I began.
You were 27.
Yeah. So my heart started to change.
Yeah.
Right.
I think your experience of leaving home at 13.
Yeah.
At 27, I wasn't making life decisions the way you're describing it. You know what I mean? In terms of that analytical approach.
Correct.
I think I got there more around 35 or 40, right? Where you're really starting to think through that. So you started at a younger age.
Yeah.
So you found you couldn't do what you wanted to do in the vehicle that you were in.
Yeah.
You needed to look for other things. Okay. So then maybe we fast forward and go to this journey you've been on now from a team building perspective. Yeah. And I'd really like to dive into your philosophy and around even success together. How did that come about? How did you start to develop that philosophy, and how has it changed over the last 20 years?
Yeah, I think the first thing is still about starting from positioning, because the change of I lost the vision on financial planning industry. So when I get to know about New Skin platform, right, literally something that attracted me. First, of course, the global nature, right? Because the point
you were
of time,
in Singapore.
Yeah, Singapore.
Small
We
island.
all know that it's very small, right?
But international community.
Yeah, exactly. So we are only like the point of time local, about 2.5 million population.
Yeah.
Right. So if I was in financial planning, I was restricted into just a very small population.
Yeah.
So when I know New Skin as a global company, and I can build regional, we can build international business, give me a lot of imagination for scalability, right?
Yeah.
The second one was actually the of course a leverage plan.
Yep.
Right, which is our rewards program. Right, and compared to what we did in the financial planning industry, right, the efforts that we put in, we can tap into the kind of leverage efforts. You know, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So immediately I can see the possibility of the business model.
Yeah.
So I got attracted to it.
Okay.
But to be honest, the biggest challenge for me there was not about building team. The biggest challenge for me is the product.
Okay. Yeah. Beauty products.
Exactly.
So wellness products.
Yeah.
They weren't economically minded products.
Yeah, exactly. So when we first started, we don't have even one supplement.
Yeah.
We started off like all the skincare and personal care product for almost like 2.5 years.
The original 12 products.
Exactly. Yeah. So
body lotion, soap, body bars.
I think 2.5 years later or 3 years later, then we introduced the first supplement, which is Lifepack.
Yeah.
So being a gentleman, right, man, right, trying to pitch and do the kind of skincare demonstration, I think is very difficult. Very challenging. So people are asking me that how am I able to do it? Right. If not for the vision that I see the possibility of this business model can bring me to, I think I cannot last.
I'm surprised. I mean, I'll speak frankly.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at 27, coming from an economics background and financial services, if someone were to approach most people at that time with skincare, they wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Right? Because it would have been the product. I don't know how to sell it. It doesn't resonate with me. But you saw the bigger picture, and you saw the vehicle, you saw that ability. Going into that though, Rayne, I think we see this a lot today in terms of what I would call the opportunity economy. Yeah. You have franchises, you have insurance, you have real estate, there's a lot of way, door-to-door knocking, a lot of, in this part of the world, there's a lot of sales companies. It's interesting that, to your point around this idea of the leverage of a team and the power of that, I think is just, it's something that's maybe misunderstood a little bit. And I'm curious, for someone that came up in financial services, how did you see the vision or the value, not the vision, the value of that principle of leveraging, building an organization that's all aligned and unifying them, as opposed to what tends to happen where people kind of push away from that and they're not willing to look at the vehicle because it might be the wrong product, or maybe there's a stigma or whatever. How did you see past that? And even how do you help people today see past that?
Yeah, so basically when I first started, I think same like a lot of people, right, they were looking into this industry as I think the social stigma thing is even worse way back like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And if you look into the background of Singapore in those days, right? Actually, we have a history of prohibiting this industry
In Singapore.
in Singapore.
Okay.
I think Singapore was started as a nation in 1965 or something.
Okay.
So Malaysian
that's
has
right.
got direct selling for many, many years, but Singapore actually prohibited this industry.
Okay.
So we don't have this industry at all. Zero.
Yeah.
So what happened, the turning point was actually in June 2000, right? Singapore reenacted or introduced the Direct Selling Act, the amended,
Okay.
become a legal business.
Okay.
So my concern at the point of time is not about how much people actually accept this thing,
Okay.
right? To me, is that the first thing is that, of course, the potential for growth as a business.
Yeah.
The second thing, it must be legal,
Yeah.
right? We don't want to do something that is not ethical, not right.
Yeah.
So as long these two guidelines are okay,
Yeah.
right? It's my job to share this with people who do not know about it.
Yeah.
So I empowered myself in a way, right? I saw the vision, and partly also because I came from financial planning, right? The history was not good in the early days. Same thing when you be seen as a insurance promoter or agent.
No,
but
that's a good point.
It was
That's
not
a great point.
But after 30, 50 years down the road, right, the industry become more and more professional.
Yeah.
So I saw that in the Newskeep platform, right? So whereby a lot of people think about, associate with something that's not good, right? I told my early leaders, the pioneering leaders, right, why not we, starting from us, we professionalize the industry.
Yeah.
So I started with the kind of vision.
That was the approach.
Yeah, that was approach, and I talked, and they saw a lot of talented people, right? And they saw the vision, the possibility.
Yeah.
And I share with them that what will happen 20 years down the road, 30 years down the road. So many of the leaders, the early leaders, right, they saw the vision.
Yeah.
And of course, we work on the platform, right, work on the plan.
Yeah.
And slowly all the success stories being created.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your team, we've spent quite a bit of time with your team.
Yeah.
Or at least many of your team, and they are extremely professional.
Yeah.
I think, I could start naming them.
Yeah.
But they're extremely professional. They take this as a not just a career.
Correct.
It's beyond that, a lifestyle. But they're highly. I think that's interesting that you took that vision from the beginning. And again, I don't think most people are open to that.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. Life insurance has had similar history, financial planning.
Yeah.
I'm seeing today, and I'd love to kind of dive into how you're seeing the worlds and the trends change now in what I refer to as the opportunity economy, right? This broader gig economy that's surfacing. We see the Grabs or the DD drivers, the Ubers, the Airbnbs. It seems like everyone's open, or more and more people are open to doing alternative sources or income, types of work. But they also seem to not maybe have the same skill set, or maybe it's the determination, or maybe it's just the difficulty, because when you started in Singapore, you're saying you started right about the same time the law was just changed.
Yeah.
So very new.
Yeah.
I'm sure the stigma was bigger than ever, as you said.
Yeah.
You navigate, there were a lot of obstacles to overcome.
Yeah.
It seems like today you've broken a lot of the barriers.
Yeah.
You've built a professional image. You've built a team of professionals.
Yeah.
It kind of seems easier, but it's harder.
Yeah.
How's it changed, and how has the psyche changed? And where do you see the opportunity economy heading moving forward with this whole gig and all these alternatives out there?
So
what does that mean?
Definitely, early stage was not easy because we don't have success stories.
Yeah.
Right. Of course, there are overseas success stories.
Yeah.
But many times you realize that we don't get to see them.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. It's very much coming from us.
Yeah.
I mean, the pioneers, leaders.
Yeah.
How we build a business. Subsequently, becoming the behavior as become a culture. Right. Today, after 20 years, I would say that if I'm not wrong, right, Singapore is one of the very rare market whereby new skin is number one.
Yeah. No, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
So I had that vision when I first started.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had that vision. So I think we become number one after 10 years. So we are almost like coming to 10 years consecutive number one. So I told the leaders that, why is this important, right? Because the company is good, the culture is good, the product is good. There's no reason why we can't become number one, right? So today,
And leaders are good.
yeah, leaders, but because we have the kind of attraction, right? Because we have the kind of all the good assets that we have. So today, if you ask me, right, in our market, literally that it's become a branding.
Yeah.
Like when the young people going out to the marketplace, right, they look into options right now.
Yeah.
Right, they have real estate, they have insurance.
Yeah.
And today, right, they actually know that, right, they are people who are building direct selling or new scale business.
Yeah.
They're becoming hugely successful.
Yeah.
They transform their life.
Yeah.
So that's a plus point. Right, the branding is there.
Okay.
So it offers another alternative,
Yeah. Yeah.
another option for them.
Yeah.
They see the possibility because they see people making it, right?
Yeah.
So if you ask me currently about the happenings, the gig economy, whichever, I find it advantageous.
Yeah.
Basically, all this behavior change, right, whether gig or whichever, is because of people are looking for something that's more flexibility.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Flexible. They don't want to go for fixed 9 to 5 job, right?
That's right.
And they want freedom.
Yeah.
And our model, right at the start,
Yeah. Yeah.
fits into this
Yeah.
criteria.
Yeah. Yeah. Build.
Right. So if we are able to relate to them, to let them understand
Yeah.
what this platform
Yeah.
can offer them,
Yeah.
the kind of values, right? And definitely you realize that they'll be excited.
Yeah.
But ultimately, not everyone will be involved because it depends on how much. So some people they don't want to change,
Yeah. That's right.
right? But our job, of course, to me, is to are we able to do our job well? Because if we are not able to do our job well, we don't get paid, right?
Yeah. No.
Right.
Fair.
So I need to understand at this point of time, right, who we are. Right, we need to understand that how do we able to connect to the market. What is the value proposition that we have for the people in terms of opportunity offer?
Yeah.
Right, how do we able to be more relatable to them?
To them. Yeah.
People don't care what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Whether whichever business model or career, they want to know what they can get.
Yeah.
So I think it's easier is because that we have more success stories to showcase.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, compared to in the early days.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
So in fact today, because there are more youngsters and newer people, they want flexibility. So with our rewards program right now, right, we offer a lot of flexibility.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
So it's definitely, if compared to 20 years ago, it's so much easier.
So much easier. And when you look to that, you talk about it being a more desirable, this flexible way of working. It reminds me every time I'm traveling, I always get an Uber or whatever, and I always ask them how. I don't mean to pick on Uber. How do you enjoy driving? They always say a couple of things. One, they love the flexibility.
Yep.
Two, they hate sitting in their car all day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I get one part of this life equation, which is the flexibility, but it's miserable work. There's that book, The Gigged. Sarah Kessler wrote a book called Gigged, and she talks about the kind of the dissatisfaction, the immediate satisfaction of flexibility until the dissatisfaction enters in, that the work we're actually doing typically is not fulfilling.
Yep.
And one of the things I love about, Success Together, about, New Skin and generally, is that fulfillment aspect of being able to not just have the flexibility, but to be able to gain that fulfillment side, whether the fulfillment is being a part of a community, whether the fulfillment is, I know a lot of people that are just involved for that. They like to just be a part of a team, whether it's being a more of a social part of the community, or whether it's more flexibility that I can do what I want, when I want, how I want. Do you find that as you're working today with your teams, do you find that the flexibility and the fulfillment being as important, more important, less important than it was 10 years ago?
Well, I think it's different level.
Yeah.
Right. For most of the people, you realize that they are at the survival stage.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
For those people survival stage, they are just looking for money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I think according to Maslow hierarchy of needs, right, we all know that.
Start at the base.
Yeah, the base. So basically, like people on gig economy, right? They just want to get extra income.
Yeah.
Right. When in the later life, right, when they build up, they have certain level of income for security, basic, right? Everyone literally, right? They want social recognition.
Yeah.
They want association.
Yeah.
Right. They want, ultimately you realize they want to help people.
Yeah.
So I couldn't find any platform, right, that is so complete all in one.
Yeah. Yeah. That allows someone to choose
exactly
where they
so that's why
that's a great point.
So that's why I told many of my leaders, right, we cannot be seen as doing direct selling new skin. Right. We are total solution provider.
Yeah.
To complete
I love that.
Yeah, the so-called our life.
Yeah.
But if we are only focusing on new skin, then we will be thinking that we are doing a career.
Yeah.
Right? 8 hours.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? But if we are serving our life purpose,
Yeah.
right, for long term, we don't feel that we are working.
Yeah.
Right? It seems that I'm working, I'm playing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because I'm trying to complete my life.
Yeah.
But if we're trying to segregate 8 hours for new skin, 8 hours, for whatever, then it's going to be very challenging because it's always limited resources that you have.
Yeah.
The time.
For sure.
Right? But if you're able to see to integrate together, then somehow you realize that, you have the kind of, you'll be more happy, fulfilled.
Life solutioning.
Exactly.
So instead of financial planning, your life solution.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
So Rayne, we've talked about this before. Where do you see your life in 10, 20, and 30 years? What are you going to be doing?
I'm still very exciting for this platform. Not so much just about making money, right? Because I think a lot of attributes over here. For example, our product technology is very empowering, right? There are a lot of people who can reach out, right? That about with our product solution, and of course for the platform, right? With the rewards program, it's definitely very empowering, So, but there are a lot of people outside, right? They are still not aware, right? They are probably blinded by a lot of bad experiences. Yeah. So just like when I first started 23 years ago, right? I have the kind of mission. Yeah. I jokingly tell people in some of my sharing, some people say they don't like MLM, right? Yeah. So my version of MLM is make life meaningful, not make life miserable. So for most of the people, perception was make life miserable, right? Yeah. So if we are able to add more values during the whole business building process, right, or even the whole journey of entrepreneurship, right, with a lot of affection, community, right, all these non-monetary, intangible assets, intangible values, right, it will help to enrich the individual and they feel so much more connected. Yeah. So that's the reason why I'm still very inspired to continue in this journey. Well, everybody needs the basic income, right? But New Skin platform can allow us to really prolong.
Oh,
yeah. So while a lot of people talk about Generation Z, right, millennial population, I think that there's another sector which is has got a lot of potential. I'm not restricted to just younger population, which I think is important, which are the pillars for the future. But there's another big sector will be the silver population. Yeah.
Which is growing globally.
The aging population. Which they are more affordable. Yeah. So in fact, I would think that New Skin platform is more embracing and more inclusive. With all sectors. That's right. Yeah. I categorize into 5 big categories. Right. The first group of people will be young startup, which was like me when I first started. Right. Yeah. They have no direction.
Highly entrepreneurial. Ambitious, no idea.
No direction, no idea, no mentoring.
Okay,
Right? And definitely you realize that not all people that today they want to go job. They want flexibility for you. So, they're on the lookout. But nobody connect with them. Right? This is a big category. The second category of people will be employees right now. They're looking for people. Literally, right, if they work for 5 or 10 years, they got burned out. Especially they don't see the future. They're just like working, right? So nobody's reaching out to them to tell them the possibility what this platform can bring to them, right? And what are the existing problems and the pain point that they have, and how can we add values to them in this platform? And this is big category, big group, right? Whether we like it or not today, the huge group. The population, the biggest one is still the working population.
For sure.
Right. The third category of people who are on the business owners, right? Many business owners are self-employed, very depending on themselves. Or some business, a lot of capital risk. Right. So we can offer them with a low capital risk, which requires some efforts, which they're already putting a lot of efforts in their own business. This is another big category, and then realize it. Another category was unique, which is emerging. Right, which is a lot of mompreneur, we call it, right? Stay-home mom.
Yeah, absolutely. And
many of all these stay-home mom, they were actually very capable and very qualified. It's just that due to they probably commit the time at home, taking care of the children. Right, so they are not able to contribute to the society in terms of economy. Right. So this group of people, in fact, today I can see that they are they are very, very
sure.
powerful force.
For sure.
But they do not have many options.
Yeah.
Right. Today you can see that in our firm, right, in our platform, there are a lot of this kind of success stories, a lot of these people. So because of the existence of this platform, we are able to accommodate this group of talents, which is underutilized resources in the marketplace.
That's right.
Right, which they have a lot of potential.
Yeah.
So because when we are able to uncover them, right, today you realize that they create so much value in the platform.
Yeah.
So the last category which I mentioned about the silver economy, the silver population, right, a lot of people, depends on different country, right, some people, probably some countries, 55 years they retire.
Right.
And they accumulate like 30 years of experience, which whatever they do.
Yeah.
Right? But they will ask to retire.
Yeah, they don't know how to use it.
Because
where to use it.
Correct. Yeah. And the plan forces them to exit.
Yeah.
And the best thing about our platform is that there's no expiry.
There's no expiration. Keep going.
A lot of career, whereby whether you like it, no matter how good you are, you win a lot of awards, right? The time you ask to go, you go.
Yeah.
So you cannot contribute anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So this group of people, sometimes, right, because they've been working so hard, after they retire, they got nothing to do.
Yeah.
Right? Their mental health.
That's right.
The whole health get affected. Yeah. But they have a lot of experiences and a lot of connection.
Huge value.
Right. So it's not just about one sector of the market, but this group of people, affordability is there.
Yeah.
And our products can help them.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Because we help them to, in terms of health, right, and wellness.
Yeah.
Right. And most important thing is that if they can see, if they can engage in our platform, make them more fulfilling. Right. To share their own life experiences with the younger people.
Yeah.
So I don't see any platform today, right, that it be so inclusive.
They can do that. Yeah.
So embracing to actually accommodate all these people together.
That's my takeaway, Rayne, from this conversation. In fact, I need to circle back on the side to get the 5 groups.
Yeah.
But I think the way you approach it, I would describe that as a very economics-driven approach on macro trends and market potential, right? You could almost see that matrix coming out and how you described it. But Rayne, I think at some point, and we're out of time here, we could dive deep into those 5 market opportunities. What I love most about your mind is you're persistently strategizing around this vision that you have for yourself and this life of purpose that you're in. And I hope that you stop and look, because I've spoken at some of your events. These Success Together events, I mean, the number of lives you're touching and you're improving, I hope you step back at times and realize that impact. Because you've had enormous impact. But even just doing things like this, talking on the podcast, you're having greater impact. So thank you for doing what you do. Thanks for being a great partner with Nu Skin. We certainly wouldn't be what we are today. And I think we will continue to play forward that vision that you have, which is this multidimensional platform that is inclusive of everybody. If they're willing to lean in and learn and be maybe humble and be able to follow some direction and leadership. So with that, we'll close up. Well, thank everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Thank Rayne Ho for being here all the way
pleasure.
from Singapore. And we'll do this again maybe at the East Live event in September. We'll get back together and dive deep on the 5.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.